Good morning, everybody. My name is Scott Hall. I'm a technical analyst with Wallpack Labs. Today's weekly threat brief contains information gathered from open source and Wallpack Labs collections over the last week. For the agenda today, we're going to briefly discuss recent reporting, open source and social media, 7 days of trending, and keylogger activity. We recently posted information to our Small Business Administration portal about a vulnerability discovered in Google Chrome, which could result in arbitrary code execution. This vulnerability can be exploited if a user visits or is redirected to a specially crafted web page. Successful exploitation of this vulnerability could allow an attacker to execute code in the victim's browser. This vulnerability exists due to a user after free condition in FileReader and has been identified as CVE 2019-5789. Depending on the privileges associated with this application, an attacker could then install programs, view, change, or delete data, or create new accounts with full user rights within Google Chrome. Mitigations for this include you have to apply a stable channel update provided by Google to vulnerable systems immediately after testing. You should also run all software as non-privileged user. You need to remind users not to visit trusted websites or follow links provided by unknown or untrusted sources. Also inform and educate users regarding the threats posed by hypertext links contained in emails or attachments, especially from untrusted sources, and also apply the principle of least privilege to all systems and services, including Google Chrome. In cyber news over the last 7 days, we see a change in the threat actors topping the list. This week, we have Anonymous Venezuela topping the list, followed by Hezbollah and the Lazarus Group. Anonymous Venezuela is topping the list, most likely because of the civil and governmental unrest in the region. Oftentimes, we see cybersecurity and hacktivism surrounding tumultuous geopolitical events. Hezbollah is a Shia Islamist political party and a militant group based in Lebanon. Hezbollah has many cells within Venezuela and are making the list this week because of their role in the political unrest in the area. And lastly, we have the Lazarus Group, which is North Korean APT. Targeted industries this week include information technology, followed by software, and then finance. For this week in malware, we have Slub malware making the list, which is relatively new. Azeralt and Stuxnet having the highest mentions. Slub malware uses Slack channels and GitHub to steal data from Windows PCs. The malware was named Slub because it's a combination of the words Slack and GitHub. And it was named this because the attacker relies on Slack to communicate and steal data from infected PCs. Azeralt is a credential stealer. It can steal credentials and credit card information from infected users, and Stuxnet has been in the news recently as well. Top stories in social media this week include a story about how attackers are more and more using fileless malware. Also trending in cyber news are multiple stories about the upcoming RISC 2019 convention, specifically on their blockchain day. There's been a lot of talk in the news recently on this. It's held on the 20th and 21st of March in Slovenia. Last week, we recorded over 119,000 new indicators. These collections include our threat recon, keylogger, malicious email, and our sinkhole traffic. The numbers on the slide here indicate the new indicators in the respective collections. These indicators are available to paid Red Sky members weekly, as well as our blacklists, which come in CSV, FortiSIM, and Proofpoint formats. This next slide here shows APT and botnet indicators collected from this week. We had 258 unique APT indicators active over the last 7 days. You can use your two-factor authentication to log into CTAC to download these indicators. Just contact us via Slack or via email for assistance with this if needed. So this chart shows our top APT indicators from this week. This is pretty similar to previous weeks. Topping the list again this week is SickyPot and Maudy APT. This week we also have PRP APT and NFlog. Botnet activity over the last 7 days remains pretty consistent with our prior trending. 31 Xinjiang Street is still a strong leader, followed by the National Internet Backbone for India and China Unicom. On the cloud security front, we see the top high-risk cloud environments this week. Peak 10, Alibaba, SharkTech, still in the high-risk cloud environments. GoDaddy is this week downgraded at a caution level. And lastly, our blacklists are published weekly. On the right-hand side, you can see some of our keyloggers. 4,600 connections taken from keylogger sinkholes. Free Red Sky Alliance members receive Tairline products. Paid Red Sky Alliance members receive blacklist and API access. For members that are not set up to ingest intelligence, Trusted Internet is our managed security service provider, and we use Fortinet and Proofpoint products and push intel into the systems for you as we manage your systems. Please let me know if you have any questions and have a great day.